Who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election?
None of your business.
None of my business?
None of your business.
In a world ruled by political correctness and divisive narratives, a few voices stand out by daring to challenge the status quo. One of those voices is Hollywood legend Denzel Washington, who isn't afraid to speak his mind on race, politics, and the real issues confronting society.
What is the long-term effect of too much information? The polarization of the electorate? A meaner-spiritedness?
False information as well, because the whole fake news thing.
Pick one. It's not just one.
Why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
Denzel Washington has been pretty vocal about his views on the woke culture. The legendary actor and filmmaker has made it obvious that he has no interest in furthering the woke movement. Not even the fear of cancellation would deter him from criticizing the woke media. In today's video, we'll look at occasions when Denzel Washington delivered merciless verbal beatdowns to people with the work mentality. In this first clip, we witness Denzel Washington completely take apart what he felt to be the woke narrative that fosters the racial tension between blacks and whites in an interview where a reporter attempted to trap him into providing a woke response.
So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're
Steven
in a space
Spielberg
right
did Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to buttress how people confuse the issue of culture with color.
Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List, but they're cultural differences.
You don't know nothing about.
Dax.
See how everybody laugh? That's a cultural difference. That's not a race difference. That's just that motion. That's all I gotta say, right?
He claims the concept of racial segregation exists, but insists that people should learn not to confuse racial discrimination with selecting the most competent personality for the job. With Hollywood currently moving towards the so-called diversification and equality creeds, he professes that we are expected to see more racial tension, particularly among cast members in the film production industry.
Vernon is saying that, you know, like they've done like 40 years in the penitentiary together. So, and, you know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into this, the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any?
Here's another video of the iconic actor and movie producer destroying what he sees as the victim mentality that has plagued the black community. A mentality that he feels the woke left has pushed as a means of gaining sympathy. He claims that this is only encouraged by the left, not because they care, but mostly because of their selfish political interest. Denzel feels that it is important for the black community to accept responsibility and accountability in order to own their wins and do better in society.
Do you think we've made any headway in the
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies.
Denzel is seen as boldly pointing out the ills in his own community with no regard for who gets offended. This portrays him as the type of person who would dare to stand up to the woke left, especially with the recent claims of how cancel culture and speech policing are common among the so-called progressive left, which is used to make celebrities cower in fear of their bullying.
You blame the system? Where was his father? It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
You know, like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, you know, 15 to 25. One did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together.
In another footage, Denzel Washington is seen once again sharing his thoughts with another journalist on the concept of fake news after being assaulted over his claimed voting decision and other rumors.
There's been a lot of buzz
was about this fake news. You were the subject of a fake news story.
Oh yeah, what they say? I was running for president. No, I
you
voted.
were running for
No, what they say?
You switched your support.
I switched.
from Hillary to Trump.
After his first response, Denzel Washington is seen as providing thoughts that would undoubtedly provide many in the woke left with much-needed truths, particularly on the matter of race.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. To tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
Denzel's claims in this specific interview have since been shown to be true. With the growth of current knowledge of fake news media around the nation, which convey so much lies and falsehoods, people are still confused on what to believe since the media has become corrupted. Denzel's take borders on his belief that we are now in an age where gossip and rumors are encouraged and peddled. Denzel is also of the opinion that it doesn't help matters that big news networks backed by political powers are extremely guilty of spreading the fake news virus. They are also frequently supported by the government to use the media for selfish purposes. Free speech is almost becoming extinct in Western society.
What is the long-term effect of too much information? The polarization of the electorate? A meaner-spiritedness?
False information as well, because the whole fake news thing.
Pick one.
During this interview with the BBC, a known network that has also been accused of spreading woke culture rhetoric and ideologies, Denzel Washington made the unusual decision to speak out against fake news and media falsehoods while being interviewed by the BBC.
You know, it used to be news. Now it's opinions. Oh, glasses. We have 3 experts on the right, 3 on the left. Let's discuss. Ooh, light bulbs. We have 3 experts on the right. That's not news. That's opinions.
Well,
over and over and over. Cycle, 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 cycle. What is the long-term effect of too much information? If you're sitting there and you're thinking it's the gospel, what I'm saying to people is, to all of us, I'm not knocking the phone. What I'm saying is we have to understand.
In this last interview, the journalist attempts to corner the iconic actor on the issue of race to elicit his political thoughts.
I want to just ask you, though, about the issue of race relations, because the film touches upon that. Right now, under President Obama, over the last 8 years, in your mind, have race relations improved?
His initial effort was to come off as a journalist, merely asking an innocuous inquiry about current events. But in reality, he was promoting the woke agenda. Denzel's argument is that the woke take on race has only ever worked to widen the racial gap and exacerbate racial tensions in the nation. But the legend was astute enough to see through the falsehoods and ensured he responded appropriately, which have gone on to become famous remarks about race and woke culture.
Under his leadership?
Race relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white or whatever you are, I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love.
After Denzel's elaborate response and lengthy sermons, the interviewer continued to press the issue. Apparently, his goal had not been met, so he brought up the subject of the Black Lives Matter movement, hoping to strike a chord with the movie legend's emotions. But Denzel responded just as brilliantly.
We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage. There's no law that says, oh, because I'm president, you all got to get along now. So it's up to us.
With the emergence of the woke movement, we can see that Denzel Washington is open to speaking his thoughts on a variety of problems. From racial stereotypes to more dangerous waters, such as calling out the fake news media. Denzel Washington is a man who has his opinions, and even when it looks like they are not in line with what most of the media agree on. His keen beliefs on his ideals and stances is worthy of being noticed. So what do you think? Do you agree with Denzel Washington's opinion? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more unfiltered debates.